Hello. Hey, welcome to our block. We are Block D. I am
Oh,
Caren Pelletier. I am the creator and founder of SudokuCon. It was my brainchild, and I'm so excited that you guys have just jumped in, made your donations. Hope you're enjoying the stream. We're having a lot of fun here, and we're looking forward to the next few hours when we're going to do our fun stuff. We've got some pencil puzzles planned. Jonn and Wes are going to do the Paradoku that Clover and was it Philip that was the other setter? I believe so. Did earlier and created earlier, and some other fun stuff. And okay, Wes, you have to go first because you have to tell us what the deal is with that egg.
Oh, um, I'm Wessel. I've been known as an egg for about a year or two, I think. So I thought I might prevent the confusion by having an occasional egg on screen. So yeah,
There you
that's
go.
it.
Now, how did the egg thing start?
Honestly, I have no idea. It's long ago. I think Prasanna was one of the first eggs or Bakpao, I don't know. And at some point, I became one as well.
Okay, and tell us where you're from and a little bit about yourself.
I'm from the Netherlands. Um, what to tell? I like puzzles. Um, Probably best known for liking Kouchoku, one of the weirder genres, and we're gonna have a look at that as well. So I'm excited for that.
Yep.
Yeah. And
Okay.
Karen too, hopefully.
Yes. I forgot to mention that I'm here in Boston, which is why SudokuCon is going to be in Boston. And we've called this segment Sudoku After Dark, but I'm the only one in the dark. It's the middle of the night for me, but these guys have bright sunshine coming through their windows. So I guess I'm the only one in the dark. John, you want to tell us about yourself?
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Jonn, Jonn. I I'm a puzzle enthusiast. I like to think so. Anything actually. So Sudoku, pencil puzzles, even crosswords. So if there's any crossword people out there, shout out. And yeah, glad to be here for the next 4 hours, solving puzzles, talking, and I hope you have fun as well. Cheers.
Yeah, we're looking forward to some good stuff. What was I going to say? It went out of my mind. It's fine. So, we're ready for our first segment. So, John and Wes get to interview me and ask me whatever they want. So, hit it, guys.
Yeah,
Oh
okay.
yes.
So, as Karen mentioned earlier on, she's basically SudokuCon is her brainchild. So, maybe for the audience, you could tell us how you got into CTC and then what led to SudokuCon. Uh, yeah, tell us more about
Sure.
that.
Well, I've always been into puzzles, like you, crossword puzzles, jigsaw puzzles, number puzzles. I was actually, for many years, I didn't so much do Sudokus, but I did Kakuros. That was my favorite, and I still love those to this day. I used to get the Penny Dell magazines where they call them cross sums here in the U.S. But I started to get into Sudoku a little bit more, and I was online on YouTube, and I think I searched on YouTube for something like, advanced Sudoku tips and tricks or something like that. And of course, the CTC video came up because, and I was just fascinated by these two middle-aged English guys in their basements or attics or wherever they were, just getting online every day and solving a Sudoku puzzle. And over time, I learned about the variants, which I think are really cool, and how to solve puzzles with them. And Sudoku was never the same for me after that. Once I learned about variants, classics are like they're cool, and there's some really interesting things you can do with them. But I really like the variants.
And have you set any?
I'm sorry. I have set a few puzzles. My very first one was called Houndstooth, and it's available on the CTC Discord archive server. And it's gotten some nice feedback. I'm very proud of it. It's especially since it was my first one. And then I have a couple others that are there as well, but that's really the one I'm most proud of. And as far as SudokuCon, I've been watching CTC for a couple of years now, like through COVID, like everyone else, and I I've been learning to recognize a lot of the setters' names that are on there a lot, like Clover, for example. Zeta Map, people like that, and I just got this idea into my head one day. What if I could meet those people, and get to know them, and they could get to know me, and so I thought of this idea of a sort of Comic-Con style convention where setters and solvers could come together and meet each other and learn from each other and then socialize with each other. And thus the idea of SudokuCon was born. So I started by just dipping my toe in the water a little bit. I asked a couple people what they thought of the idea. And it was actually Ranks who suggested that I post a survey online just to gauge interest, see if anybody would be wanting to go to this thing or help me plan it. And I got some nice responses. So I opened up the server. People joined. We're up to, I think, 80 something people on our planning server now. And that includes many of the most prolific setters that have been featured on CTC. And I have gotten to meet, online at least, several of the people that I had looked forward to meeting. So it's been a pretty neat experience for me personally, and I think for everyone who comes to SudokuCon and has that opportunity to meet all of the people they've been seeing and hearing about online. Not all, but as many as we can get there. I think it's going to be a really, really fun weekend.
Great. Wes, any questions for Caren?
Yes, almost.
He's got
I'm
to pull
getting
up
to
his
your talking.
list.
Exactly. Hey Karen,
Yes.
what is this fundraiser for? What are we gonna do with all this money?
That's a very good question. So the money that we're did somebody put you up to that question? So the first $3,000 that we have amazingly already raised within like the first 6 or 8 hours, which was thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to our amazing viewers and our wonderful donors. We have already reached our first goal, and that money is going to be, I hate to admit it, but it's got to be done, legal fees. You always have to pay the lawyers first, right? We need to create some kind of business entity, probably an LLC, so that we have a company to run the convention from. We need to make sure that the name is safe to use, that we're not infringing on anybody else's trademark, and to trademark it ourselves so nobody else can infringe on us, those kinds of things. So that's going to be the original first 3,000 goal. Then the additional money that we raise, we're now looking at a stretch goal of 5,000, is going to go partly for operating capital and part to start getting going on the planning. And then the other part is going to be used to reduce the ticket rates for students and possibly other people in need, so that they can come even if they're on a lower budget.
So you're
Nice.
saying 3,000 is not enough?
No, this conference is going to cost a little more than 3,000. I'll just put it that way. Yeah, it's going to be, well, it depends a lot on how many people are wanting to come. We sort of have in mind a figure of like 100 to 150, but we don't know. This is part of why we're doing this, to see how many people would really want to come. At the first block we had like almost 300 people on the watching the stream. So we'll see how it goes overnight. Of course, it's here in the U.S. where it's a much lower number, but when we pick back up in the morning and get to some other big names like Zeta in the afternoon, I think that we will pick up some more donations. So I think it's going to be pretty good. And we will need that money. Got to pay the hotel, got to pay for the food, got to pay. You know how it is.
Is Zeta a bigger name than Jonn?
Then who?
Jonn.
What?
Oh,
What did you say?
no. Jonn is way, way bigger than Zeta, definitely.
All right.
There are many streamers that I hope will be able to come. There's Zeta and Tristan, there's Ranks, there's Scott Strosall, Bremster's already said, it's a little far for me. But there are quite a few. So, and quite a few, popular setters that I hope will come too. Like you guys.
Exactly.
You've already started planning your trips, right?
Yeah, it's just a day trip, so.
A day trip, right?
Caren, is there anything else you want to share with the audience about yourself and SudokuCon?
Um, I'm sorry, I'm just glancing at the chat. I haven't even been looking at it at all. The New York Times, someone's asking about the New York Times crossword. I have not done today's yet. I try to do them almost every day. I can pretty much get through the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, without any trouble. Thursdays, sometimes it starts to trip me up a little bit. Fridays and Saturdays, I usually need a little help. But I love the Wordle, and I love the spelling bee. Actually, that's one of my favorite games as on the New York Times site. So yeah. How about you guys? Do you do the crossword puzzle pretty much every day, John?
I try to. I try my best. I mean, I definitely do Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays maybe, if I can get through Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday is always so big, and then sometimes I just don't have time.
Yeah.
But I try to. Yeah.
I like the ones that have themes. I prefer those over just the regular, straight up ones. Because it's
Those are
always
fun.
fun to figure the theme out.
I do like a themeless sometimes. Just
Yeah.
hard words and yeah.
If they have clever clues, that's the best part.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Are you a crossword puzzle doer as well, Wes?
No. I kind of like it, and I kind of like the the way cryptic crossword clues work, and the way you can make them. But I find it pretty hard because it's not my first language. The English ones, then.
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch ones, yeah, I don't even know where to look for them. So
Right.
no,
And of
not
course,
yet. But
our
I'd like eventually to get into it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, the New York Times is the place to start if you want to do the American style puzzles for sure, which are very different than the cryptic crosswords that Simon does, for example, on CTC. Very different. Like you can
What's the
actually
main
understand the
difference then?
clues.
Sorry?
I said American crosswords, you can basically understand the clues.
Ah, okay.
You don't have to suss them out and figure out anagrams and this, an H means this word and a, CO means this that you've never heard of, that kind of thing. In America, it's just straight up, definitions and puns and, stuff like that.
All right.
So, yeah.
All
So,
right.
go ahead, John.
No, I wanted to say thanks for sharing, and I just wanted to know if we should move on to our next segment.
Yeah, I'm ready to move into Kouchoku. I'm just going to ask our producer, do we need to take a break or should we just switch right over? I can't hear the answer. If you need me to do anything, Clipperl, or are you going to switch it yourself? You're
Bye.
good. Look at that. Looks terrific.
My God.
Oh my God, there we are. All right. So I'm going to switch to that tab so I can actually type in it. Let me get over there real quick.
Wow. Okay, I just opened the stream on my phone. It looks amazing.
Doesn't it look so great? I have to say, my initial idea for the graphics and our branding was Red Purple and German Whispers Green. And I love the way they look together. It's fabulous. I love our S logo that Rockrat Zero made for us, and the gradient background grid that our intern Rose made for us. So it really looks terrific. I'm very pleased with how it all came together. So so I'm looking at this Kouchoku puzzle.
Wes.
And who made this one? Do we know?
I made
Yeah.
it.
Sorry.
But Wes,
John made it, yes.
Why don't you tell us why we're not playing Sudoku now? Why are we playing Kouchoku and what is it?
Yes, thank you. Good idea. Wes?
Excellent question. Well, I think it's good for people to broaden their horizons a little bit. And um, yeah, for getting into chatting, it's useful to try different genres and look at different ways of cluing and telegraphing and that kind of stuff. So I think it helps to become a more rounded solver and setter. And so we chose Kouchoku, obviously, because it's the best loop genre. We chose Tapa because, well, it's a great shading genre. And we chose Suguru because it's for our number placement genre. And yeah, I think we have 20 minutes per genre. And in those 20 minutes, we're going to teach Caren how to solve them and how to set them. So we better
I'm
Yes.
ready.
move on,
Let's
I think.
go. Do you want to first, would one of you like to describe the rules of Kouchoku?
John,
Me?
yes.
Yes, you go.
One. All right. So what we have here is Kouchoku. It is a loop genre, and as you can see on the screen, there are a bunch of white circles with letters in them, as well as black dots. So the aim of the game is to create a single crossing loop. What you need to do is connect like letters together, and different letters must be separated by a black dot. Okay, so far so good. I hope everyone's okay.
So
Now,
just to make sure I understand,
yep,
I have to connect A directly to A, but if I want to go from A to B, I have to use a black dot in between.
that is absolutely correct.
Okay.
Now, here's where the crossing part comes in. So the loop can cross itself, but only at 90 degrees.
Okay.
All right. So anything more?
Well, does that mean it has to be like straight up and down and straight across, or it could be 90 degrees, but it's slanted?
It can be 90 degrees and slanted. So you
Okay.
just follow the gradient across the board or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's all you need to do. Just create one single loop that can cross itself. Make sure that like letters are touching each other, whereas different letters are not touching each other. All right. Those are the rules.
Okay. So my first thought on looking at this puzzle, my first strategy I think I would try to use is to connect all the like letters together first. So,
Caren,
for example,
Caren,
Hmm?
amazing.
Is it, yeah? So if I connect, for example, A to A and A to A, well, I don't know yet, but I can't go through this C, right?
You can't.
Mm-hmm.
So the only way I can connect the A's is this way.
Exactly.
And then the B's, I could connect a couple different ways. I could connect like this. Whoops.
Oh, Caren,
Sorry.
could you do us a favor? If you
Mhm.
don't scroll up, but if you go up to the control panel, there should be
Yep.
a option that says color each line.
Ah, yes, I see that.
Okay, good.
Okay, is it better?
Yeah.
Okay, so I see that now that the A's are green and the B's are blue.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted me to do?
Yeah.
So for the B's, because I need to have a loop that goes all the way around, so I can't close them off like this, right? But I could have theoretically any of these different combinations that connect them and then one side open.
Correct.
Am I making sense?
Not making
Like-
sense.
Okay, but I have to figure out which way to put the B's together. So the A's were easy, right? Because there was only one way I could do it. And then there's this C sticking out here. Now I can, if I look at the C, I'm just going to do an experiment here. That looks to me like it's 90 degrees.
It is 90 degrees. So one thing you can do is count the gradient. So maybe Wes can explain this. I'm not very good at it.
Do you mean the dashes on the grid when you say gradient?
I think one thing which is very very useful is that every clue has to connect to two others, and you're
Mm-hmm.
going to use that on the top left as well, but on the bottom right black dots, you see it can only connect to the right A and to the C.
Mm-hmm. So if I have 3 letters, A, B, and C, I'm going to have a dot between hypothetically, a dot between A and B, a dot between B and C, and a dot between C and A.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily in that order. So I'm really only going to be using 3 of these 4 dots.
No,
No.
Is that it? Is that a right assumption?
you can have multiple black dots between.
So I have to have at least one, but I could have more than one.
Exactly.
Okay. So, like for example, I could do this and then this before I connect to other
No.
letters. No? Oh, because this isn't 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if I wanted to connect the C to this dot, I'd have to go either to this A or this A.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know which yet.
No.
Yeah, you
So
do. You do.
because each clue can only touch.
Each clue only gets 2.
Yes.
Okay, so it would have to go to this A over here. And now it's all green because it's all connected.
Yes.
So now I would have to go to another black dot before I can go to a B.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so I could do this. And now the B's all have to go together. So I could do it looks like it doesn't matter which direction I would go. I could go down to here and down to here and then down to here. Or I could do this. And I think
No, Carrie, you're jumping too far ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know if I did it.
Oh, no, because you still haven't used the top left.
The
Black.
handbrake, John.
Do I have to use all the dots?
You have to use all the clues. Yeah.
I can't skip one. Okay, that's different. So now what do I want to do? Let's see if this is possible from where I am. Now, is it true that I cannot put a black dot between the same letter?
You can't.
Okay. So the question is there a way, the way I've done it so far, to use both of these black dots? And I'm looking at the different possibilities, and I don't think I can.
So Scojo has a comment.
I can cross 90 degrees. So I wonder.
All right. So
I'm just looking.
for the top right black dot, you don't necessarily have to connect it to the C and the B.
Okay.
You can use it for now because it may not be correct.
Okay.
But all this looks correct.
Okay. So we back off of that idea.
And maybe let's look at B, because you did bring up a point that there's multiple ways to connect the B's, but only one way works for the same reason that the bottom right side works.
That makes sense.
Why don't you show us how to do that?
I think I see a way it might work. You tell me if this is right. No, because I'm not going to be able to get back to the A. Oh, I'm going to be able to get to the C. No, I can't. Yes, I can.
Impressive stuff.
Wow.
Is that right?
It is right.
Look at that. Why are you laughing?
This is the way.
Because
just intuit everything.
yeah.
So why don't you guys go back and walk our viewers through what the hell I just did?
Sure.
Yeah.
So Caren, in case you didn't realize, you did it correctly, but I'm not sure if you know why you did it correctly.
I did it more by sort of intuition and trial and error.
Damn, she's good.
Than an actual logical path.
All right, right. So maybe we can rewind and then Wes will walk you through. So if you rewind to
Should I just erase the whole thing, or should I?
no, you can. There's at the bottom there should be a
Oh yeah, I see.
back button. Yeah.
How far should I
Yeah.
go back?
One more
Whoops.
and one more. Okay. Here.
No, that was
Next.
wrong. So let's take that off.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. Wes.
Yes. Okay. Well, for the bottom right, we talked about fast fluids having to connect to two others, right? And for the B, it might be a bit hard to see as a beginner, but try connecting the top and the left one and see where that black dots. Now that
These?
I'm talking about B's. So the top
Oh,
B
connect
and the left
this one
B.
and this one.
Uh-huh. And now you can see that black dot on the top left.
It's sort of
and only connect
isolated.
the B's. Yes.
Yes. How am I can't connect that to anything because I don't have a 90-degree line.
Yeah, you do, but that goes to a B as well.
Oh, but it goes down to here.
Yeah. So why don't you show us what happens if you do that?
Okay. So let's see. Well, I can connect all three B's. No, I can't because I'm not supposed to have a black dot between B's.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to do it this way. So the B's are okay.
And where would the top left?
Now this black dot is isolated.
Yep. That's
yeah, I
why.
see that. Yep.
Nice.
Now, if I had to solve this again, I would probably make 3 errors before I remembered how I did it.
That's how we all do it.
Yeah. So we have another Kouchoku we could look at. Should we go ahead and go to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so here's another one. This one looks a little more complicated. We've got 4 letters now. Well, the first move I see is that. I guess there's not really much else I can do with those A's.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I look at the D's, it seems like if I go just straight across them, I'm going to have some issues with 90-degree stuff. Maybe.
Is there another option?
I could go like this. Zing, zing. No. So to connect the D's directly to each other, there's only 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Which means the only way to is there more than one way to connect them other than a straight line between them?
Do you have to connect them directly since there's only 2 of them?
So I might as well do that because I have to do that with both of those A's and D's.
Yep.
So now I see that this B and this B, I'm not so good at eyeballing it, but it looks to me like it would be a 90-degree line.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. Because I got to get from one side of the puzzle to the other somehow.
That's right.
And now I've got this other B. It can't connect to this B because it wouldn't be a 90-degree cross. So it has to go to this B.
Yeah.
That's the only way we can go.
Yep.
And then I need a dot. And I can only go 90 degrees, which this wouldn't be. And this wouldn't be. So it has to go to here. And then to there.
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
You can connect that black dots to the A as well.
I can connect the black dots. Oh, to this A, because that would be a 90-degree angle.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Okay. So these are our 2 open ends right now. And this end is
I'm not saying that's true, by the way. I'm just saying it can be.
Okay, fair enough.
I would get rid of that line.
This one?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And go back to this?
And you can. No. Just leave it out.
No?
you don't have to do it just yet because there are a couple of options.
Okay.
So why don't you take a look at the C's and see what you can do with those?
Okay. So these are so close together, it seems like it looks obvious. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the way to do it, but it looks obvious to me that these two have to go together. Because I can't cross up to this C from both of these and still have 90-degree crosses.
Yep.
So, and I think this one, if I try to go there, I'm going to hit the B. Let's see if it will.
Well,
No, it'll
no.
do it, but it's not 90 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to do this one.
You sure?
And that does look like it's 90 degrees.
That's actually a really, really useful deduction that you can't cross the B line from both the C's, so they need to connect.
And that I can't go through another letter, like to get to something else.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have to go around it somehow. Okay, so now I see where this A could easily get to this C or this D by going through this dot. But I have to figure out what to do with this. And it seems to me I can either come down to this A or go down to this D. But if I come down to this D, I wonder if this is I'm just going to look and see if this is 90 degrees. I just want to check. Yeah, it looks like it is. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind.
There's quite a few 90 degrees in here, but
Yeah, in this puzzle there are.
I can give you a hint if you want.
Well, I want to see. I just want to look at this real quick. Okay. So I'm thinking about this dot and I'm thinking about this dot and which way do I want to connect things? I can only get. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, were you asking us like, was that a rhetorical question or?
I'm just saying that's what I'm thinking about.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So if I were to do this, I could do this, and that would be legal. Those would be legal connections that would actually solve the puzzle, I think. Wait, no. Oh, yes. What did I want to do? I wanted to, no, that needs two. Oh, shoot. No, that's not going to work. Never mind. I thought I saw it in my head, and then when I tried to do it, it didn't work.
At this point, there are a few options for most of the black dots, but there's one black dot that has only one option.
This one has different combinations. This one has different combinations. But this one doesn't have different combinations?
Oh, go back.
This one?
Yeah.
So this one, if I use this, if I were to go from A to C through this black dot.
Oh, remember each clue can only have
can only have two.
Yeah.
And this already has two.
Yes.
And these are both looking for friends. So they need to go through this dot.
Not necessarily in that logic, but the black dot that you just used can only see those two. A and
right,
B.
because it can't get to anywhere else on a 90-degree cross.
Yep.
And the C has already been used twice.
Correct.
So I think that means that's going to be right. We'll see in a second.
And you can apply the same logic to, I think, another black dot.
This one already has two. This one already has two. And this one already has two. So this dot has to go somewhere else. It could go here. Because that's 90 degrees. But now this already has two, but this doesn't. Oops, I can't do it straight across. I got to do it in 2 steps. Ta-da!
Yeah. Good job.
Yeah, that's kind of
Excellent.
cool.
And now you got
Hey,
to. What's
Now,
that?
yeah, and you guys helped me. I mean, because I see what you mean. Like, if you start to think about, you deal with the letters that can go together first, and then you look at the ones that have already got two ends coming out of them, and so you're not going to use those again. And that helps you figure out how to connect the black dots to the letters that are still open.
That's
Does that make
right.
sense? Is that right?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
yes.
Now, I wouldn't have the first
Coolest.
clue how to set something like this.
Now I was thinking that you have 9 minutes to go. I think we could
Okay.
instead of setting one, we could try that mysterious third Kouchoku you got.
Oh, that harder one?
I don't know
Yeah,
if it's
I can
harder
pull it
because I
up.
don't know the puzzle, but
Mm,
we can have a go.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I
Pull
think
it
that
up.
that might have a higher chance of success than setting
Sure.
one in 9 minutes.
Maybe you guys will just teach me some other time.
Sure.
Let me. Okay, that's the setter. Now I got to figure out
24-hour
where.
Kouchoku live stream setting tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go.
24
I'm
hours.
trying to remember where. I don't remember where I have that other one. Let me think. Where did I get that? Where did I get that from?
Oh.
Let me just go into my. I don't want to do this on screen though. I think I closed the tab. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how to get this back up again without like showing my whole life to the world. If I go into my history and stuff to try to find it, because I closed the tab.
Oh, you closed them. All right. Um,
So, but where would I have gotten that from?
it quit.
I don't even know.
Do you
Maybe
want to?
some.
Do you want to at least? Why do you? Oh, I think. Why don't you go to Discord?
Well, I've got Discord on my other computer, so I can't copy a link from there to here. But if you put it in if you were to put a link in the Twitch chat, then I can use it from here.
Can I do that? Okay, I'll do that.
And while you're doing that, I'm going to say a quick, very, very, very large thank you to. We have a couple new donations. Let me just refresh the screen. So we have a donation from Zendari. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. A very generous donation of $30. And then we have another donation from Wisteria for another $25. Thank you, Wisteria. And her message is, I love Kouchoku and all of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And yeah, so that's awesome. Thank you for your donations. All right. So were you able to find one, John?
Yes.
All
Check.
right, I see it. Let's see if I can.
And we're gonna solve this puzzle.
Right. Now, in order to get it lined up properly for the our viewers, I need to just put it into a different tab. So let me just put it over here.
Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
All right. Glipperl's going to line it up for us. He's going to get
But
it all pretty.
John, did you make this?
Sorry?
Did you make this?
No.
This
I only make symmetric.
one definitely looks a little more
Yes.
complicated than the other one.
I was talking
Give
about
me.
roasting your
Gosh.
puzzles yesterday, so it's
What's
actually
that?
nice that I was talking about roasting your puzzles yesterday
Oh,
during the stream. So it's actually a good thing that I said it wasn't aesthetically good enough.
good. Good.
All right. I think we got it all lined up. Looks pretty good. Okay, so let's see. So, of course, the first thing I'm looking at is same letters,
Yes.
A's, B's, and C's. So I'm just going to, is there a way to highlight, like color the letters in? Like make the A's blue and the B's green, something like that?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
That would be nice. That would be very handy. I'm just looking at the different menu options here.
I'm just trying to figure out where this puzzle came from because it looks.
Now, what does trial mode mean?
Well, you can put in whatever you want and delete the whole thing at once. As in everything you did.
So if I say accept trial right now, it's not going to hurt anything, right? Oh, I'll just say reject trial.
No.
There we go. Yeah, we're good. I won't use that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to look at is letters. So I'm just going to, this isn't my final answer, but I'm just going to do this so we can kind of see for the viewers if they're don't quite see them. So there's all of our A's. Now, obviously, those aren't 90-degree angles. We're not going to connect them like that, but that at least shows us where they are, right? Okay, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the B's. I'm just going to connect them all together with a different colored line just so we can see where they are. Even though it's not going to be 90 degrees, it's not going to be correct. So there's our B's.
Oh my God, the strategy.
The tragedy it is, I know.
No,
And then here's our C's.
strategy.
It's an interesting strategy, right? You like that? Okay, so here's our, I don't know if I can get to the C's. I probably can't. Wait, maybe I can.
Wes is like crying right now.
Oh, wait, there's one more.
Georgia.
Oh,
Oh, you did it.
I think I'm getting punchy. It's very late at night. All right, I'm going to take all this off. I just thought that would be kind of interesting. All right, so there's our A's, B's, and C's, I think. So we're going to take those off. Yes, erase. Okay, let's do this for real now. So, I didn't mean to scare you, fellas.
Don't mind us. Don't mind us. You
Okay, so I'm looking at two things. I'm looking at where can there theoretically be 90-degree crossings, and where do letters, the same letters, go to get? Where can they go together? I'm sort of looking at both of those things. So as far as crossings go, that's a tough one. Something like this, maybe. I'm going to try it and see. That might be 90 degrees. Yeah, that looks pretty good that looks about 90 degrees. Okay, so that's one possibility. Not a definite, but it's a possibility. Let's see. I don't know if I can get a 90-degree cross out of this. Let's see if I can go to that one. No, that's definitely not. And I think this might be, that's not gonna, well,
Caren, you've got a C and a B connected directly.
Oh, you're right. You are right. So let's take that out. Okay, so if I need to connect B's, let's see if these B's and these C's are a 90-degree cross. They look like they are. So that's possible. Not definite, but possible. I only have three black dots, and they're all on this side of the puzzle. Noting that, which means that all of my, not all, but the majority of my same letter circles that need to go together probably should be in this area, because yes? Is it a bad assumption?
No. It's just that I think I definitely want to finish this puzzle, but I think
I should move it along and stop making assumptions.
No. It's fine. It's just that I think I just saw something there, and I'm just going to give you this hint. Maybe you'll get things moving. But bottom left C, that's a really important clue.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I think you should work on that.
So I can't. Let's look at this C. If I connect it to this C, then this black dot is isolated because they don't have anything that's going to be able to cross that at 90 degrees.
Oh, you don't know that. You don't know that.
I don't? Maybe something from over here? It's not 90. I don't think.
Wait.
Is it? It's so hard to tell when it. No, it's definitely not. It's so hard to tell when it's diagonal. That's definitely no. It might be. No, that actually looks like it might be. What do you guys think? You think that looks like 90 degrees?
It
It
is
does.
90 degrees, but something's afoot.
Right, because it would have to go back to these other C's, and that isn't helpful.
Yes.
There you go.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I can't use this A, and I can't use this B. Was this B 90 degrees? It doesn't look like it is.
No.
No.
So, yeah. So if you check the chats, they have quite a good way of telling you how to count the gradient.
I will check the chats. Yeah, let me get over there. Hold on. I have to be in a different window. But I can pull that back up, I think. Where am I? Sorry, I'm just trying to find the right tab that I minimized. Yeah, here we go. Okay. All right. Yes, thank you, chat. I didn't mean to ignore you. So let's see. How far back do I need to go? All right, so
Second last one. It's more about how to count the ratio in order to determine.
counting the ratios. Okay. Can tell by the ratio of grid squares. 3 to 1 and 1 to 3 is 90 degrees. Okay. So they're suggesting that I count the cells. Scojo says it's very intricate. Thanks, Scojo. Okay, so I see what you mean. So this is like 3 squares across and 1 square down.
Yes.
And if I found one that was 1 square over and 3 squares up, that would be 90 degrees, which would be like this C.
Yes.
But I don't need, yes, so like that.
Exactly.
Okay. Now I can connect the other C's, I think, and worry about the 90 degrees later. I could connect these two C's because these two B's would be 90 degrees. Like that.
The issue now is that if you do it this way, the C's connecting with the purple line and then the C connecting with the black dot. The black dot at the bottom can't
It's
connect.
very important.
No, the black dot at the bottom can't connect to anything other than a C now. And remember, you're not supposed to have black dots between like letters.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah,
So
so
I need to figure out.
wrong. That means this is wrong.
This is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, because the black dot gets isolated essentially.
So just think of it as like bifurcation, but it's okay. We'll give yeah.
Okay.
Bifurcate sometimes.
I'm just gonna look at I'm gonna look at with the different. So okay, I've got this C that's together. I've got this B that's together. That's 90 degrees. I kind of like it. Don't know if I'll keep it, but for now it seems reasonable.
Yeah, seems reasonable.
Now,
Hey, how far do we want to get behind schedule?
what's our next thing that we're supposed to be doing?
I think we had planned until 3 minutes ago.
Okay, 3 minutes I'm not too worried about, but let's see what if I
No,
can get. So our next thing we're doing this. I'm just looking at the schedule. Our next thing is Kouchoku. Was it? Where am I? Here we go. Okay, so our next thing is scheduled to be Suguru, right?
Oh no.
don't
At
think
3
so.
o'clock?
No,
So
it's actually
Codex up next.
Kodak.
It is Kodak. You're absolutely right.
Oh my god, it's Kodak.
Is Kodak here with us? Is he in the back room? I don't see him in there.
Not yet, no.
Okay, so why don't we keep going until Kodak joins us? And Cliproll, maybe you could find him for us. Does that sound good to you guys? Thank you for keeping an eye on the time for us, Wes. I appreciate that.
You're a rock star.
Okay. So now,
I think the point John was trying to make at
The,
the start is that bottom left C can only connect to one other C.
Mm,
so we decided this one wasn't right.
Yeah.
So it has to go. It can't go to here because it'd have to go through that B.
Mm-hmm.
And so it can't go to here because it would have to go through that A. So it looks like it's there.
Exactly.
You like that?
I love it.
Which means that's sort of reasonable.
It's
But what am I going to
entirely
do with?
reasonable. I would get rid of
I
the other
don't. But I have to do
line.
something with this one.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. The last line you put in
Oh no, that's not good.
restricts the.
It makes a
Oh,
triangle. We don't want to make a triangle.
One tip: Kouchoku is notoriously bad for trying or putting in stuff without being absolutely sure. So
Okay.
if you're not, I would suggest not putting anything in.
Okay.
Anyway, I see Kodak is
Is he here?
already live with us.
Ah, there we go. All right. Is he? Are we? Do we have? So Kodak. I guess we're going to bring Kodak in, and we'll save this puzzle for another day. But we did two of them, so that was good.
We did